welcome to week 5 of the 12 Weeks to Stronger Bones Challenge. So today this is going to be an introduction to impact. So if you're somebody who has never done impact before, but you know you should be doing it, then this is going to be the perfect beginner guide. Just a few little notices before we start. If you're somebody who has had a compression or vertebral fracture in the last 12 weeks, then this video isn't going to be right for you now, but please come back to it once you're all healed up. And if you're somebody who's been explicitly told by your surgeon, your physio, or your doctor that you're not to do impact, then please follow their advice. If that is not you and you're all ready to go, you will notice that I'm wearing trainers, and I really advise that if you're new to impact, please wear a supportive shoe. It just helps to cushion the foot as we build on impact. This is going to be a very quick beginner routine, and I'm going to be showing you all lower impact exercises. So let's start off with a very quick warm-up. We're going to do 10 squats on the spot. So take those feet a nice comfortable distance apart. Bend the knees, hinge from the hips, keeping the spine straight. Come into your squat, stand up nice and tall. We're going to do 10 here, so bend the knees and lift. Now, as we move through these exercises, this is just the starting point. And ideally, the Royal Osteoporosis Society advises that we should be doing up to 50 impacts a day. Now, this is going to be your starting point, okay? You've got 4 more here and 3. So it's always important to warm up, make sure those legs are nice and warm before you start to do any sort of impact training. Now, once you finish this last one, I want you to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then stand up nice and tall. I then want you to step your feet about hip width apart, and we're going to start by lifting our heels off the mat and lowering them down with control. Now, as you can see here, the goal is that I want to work or warm up my calves and my feet. If you're not sure about your balance, you can always hold on to a wall or a chair. Please use a balance aid as you need, okay? You're going to give me 5 more heel raises. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. From there, shake those legs out. So we're going to be doing 5 exercises throughout. Now these, again, you can cherry pick them when you're practicing, or you can do this whole routine with me again and again. So let's start off with the most common exercise that you probably know is a heel drop. So what I want for you to do is to rise up onto your tiptoes, exactly the same way we did before, but this time I want you to drop your heels into the floor. Now you'll notice that I'm keeping my legs relatively straight. And the reason that is that this gives us that little bit more impact, that little bit more boost for our bones, okay? So this is going to be exercise number 1. We're going to be doing this for 30 seconds. So I am going to set my timer and we're going to do it all together. Now, here we go. Take a nice deep breath in, rise up onto those tiptoes and drop those heels into the floor and lift. 30 seconds work. Now, what we want to be thinking about when we're doing impact training, when we're weight bearing, when we're lifting weights, is we want to challenge our bones. We want to create enough stimulus to awaken those bone boosting cells, which help us to build bone density back. You've got 4 seconds, 3, 2, and 1. And then just relax, shake those legs out. So, moving on to our second exercise, which is going to be called killing the ants. Okay, imagine that feeling when there's ants everywhere. It's driving you mad, and all I want you to do is stamp your foot onto the floor. So I'm going to stamp, step my feet together, stamp, step my feet together, stamp, and stamp. Super easy. Make your neighbours really mad, or whoever's downstairs if that's the case. If you're on the ground floor, then you're nice and lucky. And it is as simple as that. Obviously, the harder that you stamp, the more impact you are going to be doing or putting through those distal bones. So we're talking feet, we're talking shins, we're talking knees and lower body. So I'm going to set that timer for 30 seconds and we're going to go all over again. So here we go, killing those ants in 3, 2, 1. Just start to stamp those bones, right? So I'm stepping forward, together, forward, together, forward, together. Really nice. Now we've got 10 seconds down, right? So we want a challenge, we want to make some noise. And you'll see I'm bending my knees as I do this, which helps to kind of take any tension if maybe the knees feel a bit sensitive. Yeah? Making the noise, hopefully you can hear me. Last 3 and 2, last 1. Beautiful. We get that little rest and we move on to our next exercise, which is going to be side steps. Now, side steps, we are literally going to be stamping side to side. Now, you can use kind of the length of your mat if you're working on the mat, or you can use the length of your room. But again, we want to make some noise and we want to challenge our bones by loading them in different directions. That's why we're going forward and we're going side. So I'm going to set that timer, 30 seconds on the clock. Here we go. Start stepping or stamping to the side. Now remember, the more confident that you feel with your impact training, the more you can stamp, right? And I'm bending my knees and pressing my weight into the floor because that's what we want to do, right? We're using gravity, we're using that ground force reaction to stimulate those bones. You've got 8 more seconds here, right? Moving side to side, taking big steps, 3 and 2 and 1. And shake those legs out. Very nicely done. So our next exercise is going to be a heel drop with a rebound. So we've already done heel drop, so we know how it goes. But when I mean rebound, we're going to do 1 heel drop and then immediately do a second, like this. So we drop, drop, and then we wait. Now, the reason that we want to have a rebound is because what it does is it helps to send a stronger signal to those bone building cells. So when I do a single jump, I get a good reaction, but if I immediately follow it by a second, it really helps to reinforce the message that we're sending to our bones. So what we're going to do is a drop, drop, and then we wait. Drop, drop, and then we wait. And what that does is it helps to not desensitize the bone, right? If we're constantly pushing, jumping, it can desensitize those bone stimulating cells. So it's really important. We're going to do drop and wait. We're going to do this 5 times, okay? With a little wait in between, so a little bit different to the 30 seconds. So here we go again, rising up onto those tiptoes, drop onto the heels, drop, drop, and wait. We're going to wait 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we go again, lift, drop, drop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 more to go, lift, drop, drop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're doing great, guys. Lift, drop, drop. Keep those legs as straight as you can. Last one here, guys. Lift up onto those tiptoes, drop, drop, and relax. Give those legs a little shake out. So there we go, guys. 4 exercises down, 1 more to go. Now, this is going to be the closest to jumping that we're going to be getting. But before we learn how to jump, we've got to learn how to land. And this is important as you start to move into more higher impact exercises, or if you're using a skipping rope or any of these kind of big higher velocity jumps. The jump isn't the most important part. The landing is the important part. And that is essential so that we can easily transmit load through the body in a way that's not going to increase our risk of injury, okay? Like, I'm sure that you've come into a situation where you've landed funny, you can roll on your ankle and so on. And this happens to professional athletes to every day. So it's really important that we learn how to land properly. And I have a really good technique of how to do this. I like to call it landing like a ninja, okay? So before we were stamping, we were making loads of noise. Now I want you to think of landing softly. So what this does is helps us to really organize those joints, make sure that we're using those muscles to transmit all that beautiful force through the lower body. So what I want you to do before we start our mini jumps is like a drop. So we're going to come into a squat position, but you're going to drop into it. Hold, and then stand up nice and tall. Now the heavier that you drop down, that also is a form of impact, right? We're pushing our weight into the floor. So try it with me 3 more times. We drop and stretch those legs. And you'll notice, right, we want to bend and stretch. Like we're mimicking that landing sensation. Drop and stretch. Last one here, guys. We drop and stretch. Perfect. Now, if this felt challenging enough for you, I want you to stay there. If you want a slightly bigger challenge, we're still going to keep our big toes on the floor, but we're going to lift the heels. So we're going to lift the heels up and then drop and stand. So it's like that progression from our heel drop. We lift up and drop and press the floor away. 3 more here, guys. Lifting up and drop. We got more load. Push the floor away as you stand tall. Last 2. Lift and drop. Press the floor away. Last one here, we lift up. Exhale, we drop. And then we stand up nice and tall. Give those legs a beautiful little shake and pat yourself on the back, because there you did it. Impact training. Now I want you to choose one of these exercises that you feel super comfortable with, and I want you to pepper it into your day. Whether it be you do some heel drops while you're brushing your teeth, or you do some rebound drops while you're waiting for the kettle, whatever it may be, start to implement these little impacts into the day to help us build strength and also resilience, right? Get our body used to doing this type of exercise. So I look forward to seeing you for week 6 of the 12 Weeks to Stronger Bones challenge, and give yourself a big pat on the back. Well done.